Mercury retrograde is upon us. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it cool, calm, and collected. Here's the thing. Mercury is retrograde in Virgo. Virgo is an energy that has extremely high expectations. Virgo loves structure. Virgo loves attention to detail. When Mercury, which rules Virgo, goes retrograde in Virgo, we are reevaluating all the areas that we have not paid close enough attention. Now, this can come through situations where we kind of dug ourselves our own grave, and through the retrograde, our attention is being drawn to places that we did not pay enough attention to in the first place. It does rule communication, which is an external process. It does rule transportation, so be aware of those things. But also it rules communication with the self. And Virgo is a very internalized energy. Virgo is a very self-sufficient energy. And so what we're going to encounter a lot during this retrograde is being extremely judgmental about our internal processes. We're going to be extremely judgmental about ourselves. In areas where you have issues that you are not fully addressing about yourself, you're going to be projecting that judgment onto others. So people may exhibit a certain level of judgment upon you. What's important to keep in mind, because this is going to be a high tension moment, because Venus is still retrograde, when you feel judged during this time, if you feel like somebody is being hypercritical of you, it's important to keep in mind that that is more than likely an exaggeration, if not a projection. Meaning, whatever it is that you're doing that they are being overly critical of is something that they are actually being overly critical about themselves, but they are not able to bring that awareness into their actions, and so they project that onto you. I think most of us are really going to use this retrograde as an opportunity to be really, really hard on ourselves. And that is not very fun, but in some cases it can be very necessary. It can be very necessary to take a critical look at your own actions and choices. Overall, this process is preparing us to make better, more aligned choices moving forward. Both Mars and Mercury have been traveling through Virgo for a little while now. So we already have been in this energy, in this vibe of, oh my God, what am I doing? Very high anxious energy of feeling the pressure to make decisions, but also feeling overwhelmed with the awareness of having to make a decision and the options in your decision-making process. Mars is about to move into Libra. This is going to slow down that anxious energy, but it's going to also make us a lot more passive. It is going to shift the energy of, I should have to figure this out, I need to figure this out, I need to figure this out, towards, I wonder what other people think. What are my friends saying? What does my family think about this? There's going to be some ways in which getting external influences, getting external opinions will feel like a relief. But again, there is still that danger of you seeking external opinions and them being worded in a way that stings, and then we get caught in this loop of, oh my God, that didn't help me at all, that just made it worse. That is just something to be aware of. You are going to feel a little bit tired of your own criticism. You're going to feel a little bit tired of that nagging voice, and you will want to escape into connection, into spending time with people to get away from that. But again, because all of us are going through that, then when we hang out, it's very likely that somebody's going to slip up and something comes out that we then take back into our own space, and then that just kind of bounces around in our mind. Another thing to be aware of within that dynamic is because self-criticism is at an all-time high right now, there will be situations where you are not aware that something is a sore point for someone, or other people are not aware that something is a sore point for you. So we're going to be stepping into a couple of things because everyone is just trying to keep it together right now and is really high strung. And then we're going to feel, because of Mars in Libra, we're going to feel this draw to be like, I just need to get out of my own head. So we're going to feel this draw to socialize, but we're not quite there yet. So everybody's really high strung. Something to be aware of with these transits is that they will be interacting with Jupiter and Taurus. The reason that we are applying such a strong critical lens to ourselves right now is because we are challenging what we believe is possible for us to achieve in a material sense. What do we believe we can actually affect in our immediate surroundings? And that is being challenged because we were playing it too safe. We have been playing it too small. We are being challenged to expand in a very tangible way. The moment that Mercury and Venus are both direct again by September 15th, we will feel like we finally got our mind and our heart on the same page. And it will feel like even if our situation hasn't changed, our attitude and our perspective and our awareness and our understanding of the situation will have adjusted in a way to make us believe more in ourselves, to make us feel more empowered in facing whatever obstacles that we're facing, because there's still going to be a whole lot of retrograde energy going on the other side of that. So overall, for this retrograde energy, I want you to think of literally any movie that is centered around an underdog trying to win a competition. There is always that moment of frustration where the underdog is just about to give up because they are hypercritical of themselves, because they are comparing themselves to someone or something else that they feel they do not have what it takes to live up to that comparison. And in comes somebody, some authority figure, with some kind of really deep-hitting motivational speech. And that carries the underdog across the finish line. Now, the underdog in this situation is us, and the finish line is just the beginning because it never ends. But that motivational speech and that figure of authority is yourself. That is you coming to an understanding of what you are truly capable of. You can also save this video and watch this as your motivational speech whenever you need it, because you absolutely have what it takes to carry yourself across the finish line. And you're going to look back on this time as a moment, as a checkpoint where something shifted within your attitude towards yourself. And that is going to change the way that you fight against obstacles moving forward, no matter how small, menial they are, because again, this is a Mercury retrograde. It doesn't have to be this grand shift, but for a lot of us, this is a strong moment of internal acceptance. For others, maybe it's just that your printer is acting up. It's Mercury retrograde, you never know.